Lose yourself in a good book. The Bord Gáis Energy Book Club.
Now, A Week in Winter by Maeve Binchy was named the Eastern Popular Fiction Book of the Year at last week's Bord Gáis Energy Irish Book Awards, and it is our book club choice for the month of November. We took a trip to Navan Library recently to find out what the book club there thought about the book. Let's take a look.
The book we've chosen for this week is A Week in Winter by Maeve Binchy. It's set in the west of Ireland, and it's a big house that's kind of fallen into a bit of disrepair because there's 3 elderly sisters who've been living there. 2 of them die and 1 of them's left. In the meanwhile, one of the residents of the west of Ireland, it doesn't quite tell you where, but you think it's somewhere around Connemara, has gone to America and with her lover, and then he goes off the scene, he just disappears, and she pretends that she's married him because she doesn't want to tell anybody at home what's happened. Eventually, to cut a long story short, she comes back, goes to live with the old lady and decides that she will open a hotel. So that's the setting of it.
Well, it's sort of a collection of short stories, in fact. Every chapter is a description, a summary of an individual character. In fact, each chapter is named by the particular character. It's quite compact in that you're not left with any loose ends. The story is told in the chapter, and a very easy read, and lots of the type of characters you would meet in Ireland.
Well, it was actually intriguing to read it because it was years since I read a Maeve Binchy book before, and I was wondering, had her style changed or had she moved on? And when I read the beginning part, I thought, oh, this is a formula now. It's kind of very similar to what I read before. And then I got intrigued, and I started thinking myself of all the characters and what possibly is going to happen, because you realise, of course, that all the characters are going to end up in this stony house. It builds up each character and lots of detail about them.
I started reading it, and as I began to read, I did get drawn in. I liked it. It was a comforting, not too taxing, I have to say, read.
One particular character who was very well drawn was Miss Howe. Yes, she was a schoolmistress. And she, a very, very miserable character, but I thought she drew her very well, and you knew this person.
Some of the characters I found just unbelievable. I found Rigger, the young chap, got into trouble in Dublin, and he came down to the west of Ireland. He became an organic farmer, a father, and a hotel manager within a space of a few months, really. I found that unbelievable. The characters I didn't find unbelievable were the couple who spent their lives doing competitions, because I think there are people like that actually out there, and if you win that many things, you obviously don't win every competition, so they must have done a huge amount.
I've been reading Maeve Binchy's book since 1982 when I read Light a Penny Candle, and I always enjoy her humour. I'm a big Maeve Binchy fan.
The setting, I thought the setting was very good, and I can imagine lots of people in China wanted to come up to the west of Ireland because it sounds a beautiful place, the Atlantic and the birds and the walks and the hotel. I said, I guess she'd love to go there. You know, she makes her sense of place there is good, actually.
I've travelled a lot in my later years, and everywhere I go I see Maeve Binchy translated into a different language. It's just amazing, and I smile when I go and I see it in a strange language. She can describe family life or situations that everybody can feel, you know, so she's a genius in that way. I think no one else could do it like her.
I find that the actual style of writing just slightly grates, but her story is good. I thought the whole idea of having the hotel and the 1 week of new guests coming and then backstorying the guests was a brilliant one.
I think her fans will be very happy with this book because it's typical of Maeve Binchy, and it's extremely amusing, and it's an extremely pleasant read.
At the end, the last chapter, it just seemed to kind of peter out and get lost. So that when I came to the end of it, I thought, oh, right, is that all there is? Which is strange, because she usually does tie up all the loose ends very comfortingly, and I just felt it kind of hadn't happened in this book. But, having said all that, I started to read it, I read it, I did enjoy it, and I wanted to finish it.
Congratulations to Liam Murphy from Kilkenny City, who was the winner of this month's book review competition for his interpretation of A Week in Winter by Maeve Binchy. I think it was a review, not interpretation. The Blackberry Playbook is on its way to you now, Liam. Well done, you.
Now, next month, we are once again inviting you to write a Christmas story in 500 words or less. You remember we did this last year. We got a huge and lovely response to the competition last year, so we're doing it all over again. If it ain't broke, let's repeat it, as they say in television. Stories should be emailed to irelandm@tv3.ie or sent by post to Bord Gáis Energy Book Club, TV3 Westgate Business Park, Ballymount, Dublin 24. You can also, of course, enter through our website, tv3.ie/book club.
Lose yourself in a good book. The Bord Gáis Energy Book Club.